Hello, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films. I hope everybody had a great weekend. It was very nice here. I actually mowed the lawn at the archive because my archive has a lawn. It doesn't further my mission. It actually stands in the way of my mission because I don't care about grass related to 16mm film. But we'll talk about that some other day. We'll start off with a Screen News Digest, and it is about Zeppelins. Enjoy. All right, I'm having some problems. 1 second. I have to figure this out. I have to delete this. Then I have to go over here. And I have to copy this over here and then bring it in. And then I have to do this other thing. This is my life. Enjoy.
Events of the past and present shape tomorrow. Our vital concern is you, today's youth, for our future depends on you. Before attempting to figure out where we're all going, it is imperative for us to have a strong awareness of where we have been. To untangle today's problems, we need to understand yesterday. This film series hopefully will in part make you aware of people, places, and events which have helped shape our nation and our world. Manufacturers Hanover is pleased to sponsor this educational film. Manufacturers Hanover, it's banking the way you want it to be.
The dirigible, majestic reminder of a bygone era in the conquest of the skies, destined now to fly again. Blimps, skyborne sentries in war and peace, flying on to new horizons. Hot air balloons, earliest and most enduring of all lighter-than-air crafts. On many a morning, in many a field, the great adventure begins. Colorful balloons expand and take shape. Wicker baskets become magic carpets, riding the gentle breeze, as balloonists have done for almost 200 years. "1783, the Montgolfier brothers of France make history's first lighter-than-air flight. 10 years later, the first flight in America is made by Pierre Blanchard, a Frenchman who earlier flew the English Channel. Development of gas-filled bags makes ballooning popular and practical in the 1800s. Balloonists are used as spies in the sky during the Civil War. An interested observer is a German cavalry officer who pioneers dirigible development, Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin. During World War I, German airships called Zeppelins terrorize England. An observer in a so-called cloud car is reeled out until he is 1,000 feet below the airship. Clouds hide the Zeppelin from searchlights below as the spy in the sky uses a telephone to pinpoint targets and order bombs away. War's end marks the beginning of the golden age of lighter-than-air. 1919, The British dirigible R-34 leaves Scotland on the first non-stop, lighter-than-air crossing of the Atlantic, landing in America 4 days and 12 hours later. In 1923, America's first dirigible is completed. Shenandoah is an Indian name meaning daughter of the stars. The sleek silver giant serves as a flying hangar for Navy fighter planes. The Shenandoah steers as easily as an automobile, and docking in the air is as smooth as landing on the ground. Hooked into place, plane and pilot are lifted inside the airship. The maneuver of dirigibles is demonstrated when the Shenandoah becomes the first to moor to a ship at sea. Lighter-than aircraft are opening a new era of exploration. Motion picture newsreels, destined to become film classics, record in 1926 the world's first dirigible flight over the North Pole. Plowing through heavy seas, Roald Amundsen and Wright and Lincoln Ellsworth are heading for the Norwegian islands of Spitsbergen inside the Arctic Circle. The polar flight grips the public's imagination, and newsreel producers use every means of transportation to rush coverage to theaters around the world. "15 years after becoming the first man to set foot on the South Pole, Roald Amundsen, last of the Vikings, is seeking to become the first man to reach both poles. The dirigible Norge, built in Italy and commanded by Umberto Nobile, is pulled from its hangar on May 11, 1926, and final preparations are made for the transpolar flight to Alaska. Amundsen waves a last goodbye as the Norge rises majestically and heads northward on its trail-blazing journey. Soaring over the great white world that he knows and loves the best, Roald Amundsen completes his conquest of the bottom and top of the world. 1936. Work nears completion on the Hindenburg, most luxurious skyship ever built. Its designer, Hugo Eckener.
I hope I will be able, in about 6 or 7 weeks, to take over the new airship to the United States of America, to demonstrate the feasibility of a regular airship service over the North Atlantic.
The Hindenburg uses hydrogen for buoyancy, and any kind of spark or flame can ignite the highly flammable gas and turn the airship into a fiery torch. But Germans are supremely confident of their silver giant, almost 3 times the length of a football field. Flight time from America to Germany, 49 hours. There are luxurious accommodations for 70 passengers, including shower baths, spacious dining room, ornate lounge with aluminum grand piano, and 2 observation decks. Crossing the Atlantic on $300 worth of diesel fuel, the Hindenburg is as cheap to run as a medium-sized car. Mooring the skyship at Lakehurst, New Jersey is like reeling in a giant flying fish. Transatlantic mail is unloaded even before landing is completed. One-way fare, $400, plus $5 U.S. tax. And despite the fact that the Shenandoah and 2 other American dirigibles have crashed with heavy loss of life, passengers speak glowingly of traveling aboard the Hindenburg.
We've had a lovely time ever since we left Frankfurt. I only wish we could do it all over again.
I've just come back from a great trip on the von Hindenburg, and I enjoyed every minute of it. The German ship and the German crew were both magnificent. It was a swell fight.
There's no need to tell you that I'm awfully happy to be back. And I can assure you that the greatest thrill of this trip was the fact that transatlantic flying has passed the stage of a hazardous adventure, but has settled down now to a dependable, most comfortable passenger service.
When the Hindenburg completes his final 1936 flight, commercial dirigibles have carried 51,000 passengers, more than 1.25 million miles, without a single casualty.
We take you now to Lakehurst, New Jersey.
The ship is riding majestically toward us. It's practically standing still now. They've dropped ropes out of the nose of the ship. It bursts into flames. Get it started, get it started. It's crashing. It's crashing terrible. Oh, my, get out of the way, please. It's bursting into flames and it's falling on the mooring mast and all the folks between us. This is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. Oh, it's like 400 or 500 feet into the sky. It's a terrific crash, ladies and gentlemen. The smoke and the flames now, and the frame is crashing to the ground, not quite to the mooring mast. Oh, the humanity and all the...
Miraculously, only 36 people die in the flaming Holocaust, while 61 survive. But not a single dirigible carries another paying passenger after May 6, 1937. Blimps replace dirigibles. Their sausage-like shapes are maintained by gas pressure instead of the aluminum framework used in dirigibles. Against enemy submarines during World War II, these aerial sentries escort 89,000 ships in the Western Hemisphere. Not one is lost. Blimps are used again during the Korean conflict, but by the 1960s, their military careers end. Still, progress made in the golden age of lighter than air is being applied toward a rebirth of blimps and dirigibles. The ability to hover and land, as demonstrated aboard this Navy carrier, enable blimps to carry loads up to 75 tons. This compares to 16 tons for helicopters. And blimps, propelled by small jet engines, need only a fraction of the fuel used by helicopters. Fuel conservation also is spurring the development in Britain of a 600-foot freight-carrying dirigible. Filled with non-flammable helium gas, the skyship will have more cargo space than a jumbo jet and cost less to fly. Top speed will be 85 miles per hour, and transatlantic crossings will take 2.5 days. And so, in the search for new ways to stretch energy supplies, interest focuses again on lighter-than-air craft. Today, hot air balloons enable their crews to fly free as the wind, wherever it blows, wherever it takes them. The balloons are made of nylon, Dacron, or some airtight material, and are filled with helium, hydrogen, or propane-heated air. They cost from $7,000 to $12,000. Gondolas carry 2 to 4 passengers. Deluxe accommodations include padded seats and a built-in console for the traditional champagne carried as a peace offering for owners of property on which balloonists land. Balloons cannot be steered. They can only rise and descend. And as they do, search out wind currents blowing in the way that the balloonists want to go. Riding the currents, balloonists have made record-breaking flights across the United States and over the Atlantic Ocean to Europe. Balloonists never can be sure where they're going, when they'll get there, or how they'll land. But the fun and fascination remain. Every flight is a new adventure, a different kind of challenge in the lonely, lofty world of lighter than air.
Manufacturers Hanover has been pleased to sponsor this educational film. Manufacturers Hanover, it's banking the way you want it to be.
Beautiful archival footage there, horribly ruined by the artificial tinting to make it seem sepia or make it seem old. It's very annoying. A lot of 35, when it was shot, sometimes they would tint it. They would tint the transparent background with feature films and things like that. So there would be something that's greenish, excuse me, if it was in a forest, or something that was reddish if it was in the desert, bluish if it was near the water. But that, it's just fake. Fake. All right. Sweet Briar College. Here we come.
Remember your first approach to Sweet Briar? It was the beginning of a high adventure. The adventure of growth, of personal perception, of maturation. It was your acceptance of an invitation into the world of the civilized heart and mind.
The world spinning madly, it drifts through the dark, spins through a hollow of haze, a race around the stars, journey through the universe, a blaze of changes. Your tears will be trembling, now we're somewhere else. One last cup of wine we will pour. I'll kiss you one more time, leave you on the rolling river shore of changes.
It had some of the mysterious magic of a newfound land, where the air could be filled with sweet sounds and tense with fierce contention over territorial conquest. It was a place and time rich in legend, quaint customs, and communal taboos.
Sitting on the golden stairs. Georgie girl, swinging down the street so fancy free. Nobody you meet could ever see the loneliness there inside you. Hey there, Georgie girl, there's another Georgie deep inside. Bring out all the love you hide and no one.
It was also a time for friendship and fun. Quite literally, friendships for life.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always...
That life of shared, mutually enriching activity, which has been the gift of Sweetbriar to her graduates since the college's founding.
The music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalk where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose? The lights are much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, and go downtown where all the lights are bright. Downtown, waiting for you tonight. Downtown, you're gonna be all right now. Downtown, downtown. Trees swaying in the summer, swaying in the summer, showing off their silver as we walk by. As we walk by, kisses on a summer, kisses on a summer's day. Laughing all our cares, laughing all our cares away. Just you and I. Sweet, sleepy walks on summer nights. Gazing up at the sky, in the starry sky, in the starry sky. They say that all good things must end someday. Autumn leaves must fall. But don't you know that it hurts me so to say goodbye?
Because in every sense of the word, Sweetbriar has always been a place of wholeness. It provides not only for the free play of the inquiring mind, but offers space for the sheer joy of physical well-being, which soars with the natural high spirits of youth and health.
They say that all good things must end someday. Autumn leaves must fall.
Naturalness is indeed a key element in the Sweetbriar experience. The high excitement of unforced personal and social, intellectual and emotional development.
And when the rain beats against my window pane, think of summer days again, and dream of you.
Independence of thought and action is admired at Sweetbriar, and for those who wish it, there is an active self-help program at the college. So Sweetbriar is rich in what Emerson and Melville termed correspondences, tangible, external manifestations of intangible but vitally real processes. Everywhere one finds reminders of the great fundamental forces of growth, a continuing progress into new realms of enrichment. Sweetbriar's establishment itself exemplified such an analogy. Out of the tragic death of a young girl and the dedication of grieving parents, an institution arose that, as it flourished, enhanced the lives of later generations of young women. From sorrow, triumph. From loss, life. This gift of life was an active gift, and both the practice and appreciation of the arts are essential actions of every civilized mind. In the Mary Reynolds Babcock Fine Arts Center, the arts are interrelated. And whether in a sculptor's atelier or on a stage, The essential playing area is in the sensitized, receptive mind of the individual. Perception and participation are natural attributes of a Sweetbriar student. The arts have always gone hand in hand with the sciences at Sweetbriar, and the services afforded by such facilities as the new Connie M. Guy in Science Building are as contemporary as the mind-stretching disciplines with which they deal. At Sweetbriar, physical resources like these make modern statement of that principle first enunciated by a 5th century Athenian. Material things do not constitute the good life, but at times they are necessary to achieve it. But if this is a laboratory workshop, so too is this. It is upon the faculty that the main responsibility lies for fulfilling the intention of Indiana Williams' will in preparing Sweetbriar students to become useful members of society. The very closeness of their physical presence to the college symbolizes the life-enhancing relationship that exists between dedicated teachers and alert, thoughtful-minded pupils. This special kind of warm communication is everywhere at Sweetbriar. But perhaps it finds its most vivid and luminous expression in the centered ambience of Sweetbriar House. Here is a true coming together of vital tradition and contemporary concern. The mingling of cosmopolitan today with the still energizing forces of established graciousness. For Sweetbriar is a total and organic way of life, even more than it is a preparation for life. And that way, in its deepest essence, is not only an intellectual, but a spiritual one. This sense of continuing and harmonious natural growth never manifests itself more concretely or movingly than in the new Memorial Chapel. This, then, is Sweetbriar. What it has been, what it is, what it must continue to be. A place of vistas and vision, a perennial setting for the high approaches of the inquiring mind. Of changes.
So I don't know if you noticed that was a Calvin production. Rick Prelinger and his team have been scanning a lot of Calvin material. They acquired a bunch of the Calvin productions outs and feature and full-length films. And, Calvin made a lot of sponsored films that basically were advertising something. Just like J.M. Handy, advertising something. But Calvin, instead of this being some weird niche automotive tool or sales approach, this is trying to get parents to send their daughters to this sweet Briar College in Virginia. And so it's all sweet and hippie. And it also, I think, it's trying to appeal to the young ladies too, and trying to be hip by having the music, but also the traditional values, growing up amongst women, blah blah blah. Anyways, let's see, what do I got next? This is Canadian, and I love it. I think I've shown this some time ago, but enjoy. Lifetime's 9.
Life. 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 Life! It's okay. Sometimes. It's fun. Crazy. It's nothing. Today I am living. Tomorrow I may not be. So now there is light in my eyes. Tomorrow there may not be.
Jolly good life, eh?
Yeah, life is in the sun.
Life is in the rain. In the snow.
In the dark. In the blue. Purple.
Or black with yellow dots, commonly known as stars.
Life is friends. Lots of them. Quiet times with good friends. Together times with good friends.
If there were no living animals or nature,
What would living be? Tomorrow's another living day.
maybe not for me, maybe for Shauna.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward until tomorrow.
We want to sell you a tank. A tank that you can call your very own. Now just look at this. Every new tank is made with a new aluminum alloy that makes it lighter and easier to maneuver, and double belted tracks for better performance. It can get up to 10 miles to the gallon at close to 30 miles an hour in any kind of weather. Every tank comes with an optional firing cannon, with machine guns and flamethrowers as standard equipment on every machine. This complex 50-ton piece of equipment can be yours. And it's simple. We want you to join the Army. We boast the biggest fleet of artillery tanks in the world and the chance to choose a profession and to learn it right on the job. You'll get a chance to learn about tanks and perhaps even command one of your own. And if tanks aren't your specialty, maybe you'll get a chance to become a specialist in machine guns and help ship them to our fighting boys all over the world. Now, when all's considered, wouldn't you rather be part of it? And so you can join the Army, and all this can be yours. And remember, it's the biggest Army, it's the best Army, and it's the strongest Army in all the world. And it's got the most planes, and the most tanks, and the most ships, and the fastest jets, and the biggest bombs.
Okay. Can a man get any peace even when he's dead?
Do you fancy going back to life for a while?
Are you kidding? I wouldn't touch that stuff again.
Oh, come on. How about going for a good slap-up meal, huh?
You can stuff that.
What about going for a bike ride?
Forget it.
Golf? Dancing?
Forget it.
Tennis?
Idiot.
Swimming? Mom and Dad? Music? The kids? The flowers? The fun? Gladys and Martha, huh?
Martha?
Martha!
Martha. I came back.
And we're glad they did.
Was that right? Uh-huh.
Wouldn't you want to come back to life for one reason or another?
This is a peanut. He can't help living a sheltered life. But you can. Don't be a nut. Break out of your shell. And live.
Do what you want to do. Be what you want to be. Go where you're going to. There's nobody left here but me. Just sing all day in the sun. Work till the work is all done. Just laugh all your troubles away. 'Cause tomorrow's a long way away. Come, all laugh together now. Sing a song or two for everyone.
I don't know why we're doing this commercial anyway. We're only getting minimum wages. I make the same moves over and over again. Life is so repetitive. And how about the rook pawn? He hardly gets to move at all. How would you like to live such a sheltered life? Here I go again. Have fun. Yeah, sure, oh, sure.
This corner gets to be such a drag. What a life. 9 to 5. I wish I was out of this cycle. Me too. Now, you chaps, here I go.
Oh, I wish I was on the board. I would do so much better than those players.
Yes, this is so tiresome, just standing here, watching and waiting.
It's not that I don't love you, but lying next to you for so long is so boring. A queen has to get out and be social, you know. Oh, I wish I was playing.
Doesn't everybody? Life. Appreciate.
Oh yeah, that's 1973. All right, man. I keep forgetting how great that film is. There's so many good things, and I periodically do shows about Canada. And for some reason, the most recent one I did not include that one because that film is so good. Holy cow! The delight of pulling a police officer and a nun into a puddle of mud. It gave me this little sense of glee. I'm like, ooh, that's fun. Anyways, so behind me I've been scanning films that we've been pulling as we move them back into the film vault, and I ran across one that it's too far gone. Wait a minute, it's up here. So you see what's happening here is this is vinegared so much that not only has the base shrunk and curled, but the emulsion is actually beginning to fall off. Gets a little bit better here, but then it picks back up again. So this is too far gone, because if I try to scan it, what we'll do is some of the emulsion will flake off and fall into the scanner, but also you have different levels of focus, so you'll have like this kind of weird focusy bubbly thing, which could look cool, but I don't want to have to then spend an hour trying to clean out my scanner. All right, let's see what we got. There was talk about earlier in The Lighter Than Air, the dirigibles and bombing of London in England. This film is about that. Enjoy.
On the night of Sunday, the 29th of December, 1940, from shortly after 6 p.m. until 10:30 p.m., the German Air Force carried out one of the most devastating fire-raising raids of the war. Continuously for 4.5 hours, their main target was an area particularly vulnerable to fire, the City of London, an area that has often taxed the considerable resources of the London Fire Brigade, even in peacetime. These scenes, reminiscent of the Great Fire of London nearly 3 centuries ago, were taken from the roof of St. Paul's. They embraced the area from St. Paul's Churchyard to Newgate Street, Paternoster Row, Ave Maria Lane, and the Stationers' Falls. Goering boasted that his Luftwaffe dropped 100,000 incendiary bombs on the city this night, besides loads of HE. And it may well be that this is one of the few of his boasts that is a true one. In fighting the fires, 16 firemen were killed, 11 by high explosive bombs and 5 by falling walls. The injured numbered over 250. Fighting the fires were no fewer than 1,500 appliances, including 100-foot steel water towers, pumps, hose lorries, water units, petrol wagons, and other special appliances. Every one of these appliances was controlled throughout the night and ordered to its correct destination by the Central Control Room, working in collaboration with its subsidiary district controls.
A heavy incendiary bombing raid has occurred in the city area. Many large fires are in progress and rapidly spreading. All available appliances have been ordered out.
Order 50 pumps from the F to St. Paul's Churchyard, 50 pumps from the A to Westcliff Field. Order report to control points, 100 pumps from the E to 60 station to stand by.
All available turntable ladders were ordered onto the fires, and throughout the night, these laddermen worked 100 feet above the street, among falling bombs and the intense heat rising from the burning buildings. One of the many historic buildings attacked was the parish church of St. Lawrence Jury, where a service is held just before the election of the Lord Mayor of London at the Guildhall. St. Bride's Church in Fleet Street, one of the most beautiful of Wren's masterpieces, suffered badly, and little more than the bare shell now remains. No water system yet devised will supply the quantity of water required to extinguish a conflagration of this size, and most of it had to be relayed from the River Thames up to a mile away. It was made all the more difficult by the fact that it was dead low water at the time, and that the relaying crews had to get their hose ashore across the treacherous mud flats from fire boats lying in midstream. Hose-laying lorries, each carrying 6,000 feet of 3.5-inch hose, laid out relay lines at the rate of 20 miles per hour. The spread of fire through the narrow streets was helped by a strong southwest wind. With the tremendous draft caused by the fire itself, in places the flames raced down the street as fast as a man could run. The areas affected consisted mainly of shop and warehouse property, too small to come within the scope of the regulations enforcing a system of fire protection. Most of the buildings contained valuable stock, and they were securely locked and bolted, and only a few had caretakers on duty to deal with fires in their early stages or to open up the heavy doors to the firemen. Space in the city had been so valuable in past years that small courtyards at the back of many warehouses had been roofed with glass and filled with inflammable material that made them fatally easy targets for incendiary bombs. As well as the raging inferno you see here now, nearly 1,500 other fires were dealt with in London alone on this same night. Radiated heat from the burning streets threatened important buildings on the edge of the fire area and started many incipient fires in the window frames and other vulnerable places, making it necessary to put up water curtains to protect them and stop the spread of the fire. Streets such as these, firemen emerged with hands and faces so badly scorched and burned that several skin grafting operations were necessary. The appliances at the fires were directed and coordinated by mobile control vans which kept in touch with the control room by dispatch riders, who did invaluable work after telephone communications had been damaged. When one of these ladders received a direct hit from a high explosive bomb, the upper extension broke away and lodged on the roof. The only survivor of the crew of 3 was the man at the top, although he was very severely injured. Throughout the night, firemen fought the fires, hoping that one day the Royal Air Force would bring similar conflagrations to German cities. Fires were also raging across the river in Southwark, or as it is usually called, the Borough, the large industrial district of warehouses, wharves and factories, adding more fuel to the all-engulfing fire. In spite of the great shortage of water and the high wind, the fire was confined to the buildings you see here. A fierce, cutting wind caused streams of sparks to fly among the fighters, and dense volumes of acrid smoke almost choked them. There were over 100 cases of conjunctivitis and other eye injuries that needed urgent treatment. blazing gas mains, which must not be extinguished because of the danger of explosions from unignited gas collecting in basements, caused further problems and necessitated protection for the buildings adjoining the craters. The mains in this area normally give a pressure of over 40 pounds and supply enough water for several powerful fire engines. But on this fateful night, the trunk main had been fractured by a high explosive, and the tremendous amount of water drawn off for other fires left nothing but feeble jets. Here again, a lot of valuable time was taken up in relaying water from the Thames and other static sources. In the damaged streets, pitted with new craters and blocked by debris, some appliances came to grief before reaching their allotted destinations. Vital water mains were blasted by a high explosive, and thousands of sprinklers and drenchers, powerless to check the flames, wasted water which turned into steam almost as soon as it was ejected from the sprinkler heads. The fire was stopped at the Old Bailey. By morning, every fire was in hand, though the streets affected presented a scene of tragic desolation. The magnitude of the task confronting the fire service can be gauged by the fact that if all the pumps engaged had been able to work to full capacity, not less than 600,000 gallons of water per minute would have been required. The Guildhall, with its fine banqueting chambers and frescoed walls, was severely damaged, and the nearby church of St. Lawrence Jewry was almost destroyed. White Cross Street in the city was a veritable death trap. Debris was everywhere. Both ends of the street were blocked, the water mains were empty, and the appliances had to be abandoned. The men had to make their getaway over the railway bridge, and there were many narrow escapes. Thousands of lengths of hose must be collected, cleaned, dried, and restowed on the appliances, ready for the raid which may follow tonight. The night of this great fire was a time of severe trial for the men of the fire service. The brigade pays tribute to their work and mourns the loss of so many of its comrades. Goodbye, firemen. We will finish the job for you. However many of our stations are bombed and broken up, our spirit will never be broken. Look out, Hitler. We saved the Old Bailey that night.
Oh, we started a film with a crazy fire, and we ended the film with crazy fires. So that film, so the provenance of that film is interesting, at least from my standpoint, is this came from the Texas Department of Public Safety, and it was shown to firefighters and public safety people as preparation for, you can kind of historically look back and see like, okay, well, here's this crazy fire and explosions. Like, well, how did they deal with it in close quarters London, where there's townhouses and everything is up against each other, and so this is not really necessarily meant for the general public. It really is about what the course of action was and what were the considerations of one of the blitzes. And these incendiary bombs, and all of this. And so, did Texas ever have a situation like this? Well, they certainly did when there was the refinery explosion. And there were some other explosions that took place that were pretty horrible in Texas. They weren't enemy people dropping bombs on them, but it was these situations where there was gas involved or there was other things. And so this is really kind of an interesting teaching tool. And the Old Bailey still stands. So thanks for watching today. I appreciate your eyeballs. And tomorrow we'll be back. But so we're going to be traveling Wednesday for the rest of the week. We're going to be in Austin, Texas. I'm going to be doing an AGFA board meeting, the American Genre Film Archive. I'm going to be there. And then I'm going to go goof off at Fantastic Fest, which is a film festival in Austin, Texas. And hopefully it won't be like really, really hot. I'm really hoping not, because it's really nice here. And that's not normally the case in Texas. So everybody have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much, Jeremy, for donating via the super thanks button. You can also hit the thumbs up, the like button, hit that. Hit subscribe. Those are great ways to support us. You can also go to ko-fi.com/avgeeks or patreon.com/avgeeks. Those are other ways you can support us financially. So everybody have a great rest of your day. And I did see the Led Zeppelin documentary last night, so that might also be why there was some Zeppelin footage and there was some Blitz footage. I think subconsciously I was thinking about that, although those films were ones that I had recently scanned, just coincidentally. So, and the Led Zeppelin doc, if you like Led Zeppelin, it's a great documentary. If you don't watch it. That's my take on it. Anyways, everybody have a great rest of your day, and we will see you soon. Take care.